Good news, everyone. It is time for another exciting edition of State of the Condo. We are talking 6 months now, technically seven. I got a little busy, but this is sort of my 6 month part, even though, yeah, it's seven. Like I said, I got busy. So the number one question I get asked, how do you like it? I like it. Do you love it? I like it. It's not something I love, it's just something I like, but I don't know where else I would go. So for now, this is just the right place for me to be. Now, I have learned a few things in my time here, 6 months, especially getting around. I've traveled on Link quite a few times, mainly to the airport. In fact, only to the airport. Often it's coming home from the airport where I don't have a time restriction. Going to the airport, I don't want to worry about, missing my flight or anything like that. So it's usually coming home when I don't mind sitting on the train for an hour. The train is about 3 times longer than driving just because of all the stops through the city, but it's also incredibly cheap, $3 versus like $60. So there's that. Now, of course, driving, I've driven through the city a few times. I don't drive through the city often just because parking can be expensive and tough to find a place and you have to worry about your car. If you do take alternative modes there, you don't have to worry about such things. But I have driven there, especially when I know I can park at like the dentist or places like that. I did go out and get a bike helmet, so I've actually biked downtown, which is kind of an adventure. Yeah, you got to be careful. I got to be careful leaving Cap Hill because it's a hill, and you get brakes, and you just got to be really careful about these hills, of course, going too fast. Traffic, and then riding out in the traffic lane. Some places have dedicated bike lanes, other times you share it with buses, other times you are just mixed in with the cars. So like I said, I got the helmet. Now I've also rented scooters, and I think I feel safer on a bike actually, but the scooters can work in some situations. If you're on small streets and stuff like that and you got a place to go, it's just not good if you're holding stuff. And yeah, I don't like it as much as biking, but I've rented it and it's okay. And of course, I've also walked downtown, jogged back home. So I haven't done a lot of running so far, but I have used my legs on occasion to get. If I'm going to the store, I almost always walk, unless I need a lot of heavy groceries, then I drive to Safeway. But for the local store right about a half mile away, I walk. Now, speaking of jogging, this year is not going to be a record year. Was it last year that I did the 1200? Probably 2 years ago, but I do miss that. I miss the running. I just haven't been so busy with other things than traveling that, yeah, running is hard if you're doing a lot of traveling. You get behind. So there are places to run. I've gone on maybe 3 or 4 runs, but nothing like in the past. When the weather clears up, I always say, but it is June and it's cloudy and rain last night. So will it ever clear up? I don't know. But that doesn't mean exercise has gone poorly. I have invested in some equipment here, and I got my dumbbells. I don't have my barbells anymore, but I've got enough equipment to do good workouts. I just have to set my mind to it, and I do actually get the workouts done on some days, but other days I don't. So mainly just to try and keep things from getting too far behind, so when you do work out, you don't feel sore for a week. At least I don't feel sore for a week. In terms of the Seattle food scene, still, I just don't eat out a lot. It's expensive, and I don't appreciate food that much. Not that I don't ever, I do it with friends sometimes, but it's just not a regular thing. Same thing with going to bars. I don't like to go out drinking that much. I don't even like, it's weird to say, beer. I still enjoy beer sometimes, but I don't really like the effects as much as I guess I used to. Maybe it's just drinking the wrong beer. I don't know, but I think I mostly just stick with wine these days, and sometimes even spirits over beer, definitely over beer. But yeah, I still do like a good beer, but it's gone way, way down. Now, I've also done a long fast, my first long fast since I've been here. It was 7 days. In fact, that was a record for me. That was an experience. It was really tough to get through. I don't know, some of these videos just say, no, you'll still have great energy after 7 days. No, after 7 days, I was just miserable. I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but how do you, just don't eat? I mean, how do you, what kind of variance does not eating have? And I did take the salt and supplements and electrolytes and stuff, but man, yeah, 7 days was painful. I don't know if I would ever want to do that again. I probably will, but I don't know if I want to. But as I said, the number one spot I have gone to is the airport. I think at this point I've been gone as many weekends as I've been home here. So yeah, it's hard to do anything. It's hard to volunteer, like to do any theater or other events or at a local church. I don't know, because yeah, if you're gone so much of the time, how do you actually commit to something? So I just got to figure out a way to work that in, or the things to do. But I do want to do more things locally. But right now it's just been, yeah, like I said, about 50% of the time I'm gone for the weekend. And how is the condo? State of the condo, how is the condo? The condo's good. I've been doing some small repairs. I did stuff at the beginning, the refrigerator, some of the stuff in the shower. I just recently did a light in the laundry room. It just didn't work, so I replaced that. That was a fun little project. So yeah, I can do little things that, before we had renters in here, I would have the handyman come, and it was like adjust a faucet and a sink or whatever in the bathroom, and it was like $700. I'm like, how? The part was like 150. Just the insane prices of a handyman. That's what I definitely don't miss. I'm like, I do it myself, and the labor is free, but yeah, we've probably saved thousands on not having a handyman. Just do the simplest of things, like some of the stuff past renters that we're asking for. It's like, you really can't do that? You really can't? I mean, I replaced a toilet. I don't expect a renter to replace a toilet. That's kind of a big job, but it's not that hard. But yeah, a renter shouldn't have to do it, but I would never pay a plumber. It's not very complicated. Toilets are actually pretty simple things. Now, I also did put in 2 big fans. I had to buy 2 big fans, but I put them in and they kind of fit in the window just perfectly. So, when the hot weather eventually does come, you just turn those things on and you get this like current of air going right through the place, and that's going to help a lot. I use it actually off and on, even when it's not hot. I do have an AC. I got the AC out of storage, and I've used that a few times, but even that can have trouble when the weather gets up there. So all these things together, I think we'll get through the hot months whenever they come. But you do appreciate the cool weather. I mean, it's like midway through June and it's still raining. So this is the part where you definitely notice this is not California anymore, because the winter wasn't that much colder than California, but on the months where you kind of expect it to be in the 70s and 80s and you're not, that's different. But then again, do you want that? Not really, because like I said, the heat just kind of sticks around. It can be very uncomfortable. It's easier to heat the place up than to cool the place down. So I'm actually appreciating having decent weather. I mean, I wouldn't mind some sunlight, but I don't want the heat that goes along with it. So yeah, I'm appreciating this kind of Seattle weather a lot more than I would have anticipated. It's definitely nowhere near as bad as people say. I don't know. I mean, just it's all a point of view. But so far, yeah, no real big problems in the neighborhood. I mean, sometimes cars get messed with. I don't know, one homeless person slept overnight in the parking garage. I want a security gate, but no one else wants to seem to pay for that. But it's not a huge thing. I haven't had my jinxing it. I haven't had my car broken into, but I also don't leave anything visible in my car. And that helps. I think that's the advice for any big city. Don't leave stuff in your car, or even just all cities, really. Sometimes I hear a loud noise at night, like sounds like a gunshot, but it could be a car backfiring, it could be fireworks, I don't know. But then I kind of look at the news a little and I don't see anything going on. So I haven't read about I try to avoid reading about that kind of stuff anyway. But yeah, once in a while you do hear loud sounds like, oh, what's that? Because in other parts of the city, I'm in a nice part of Seattle, almost like a suburb. But in other parts, you do have problems. I mean, it is a big city. It's not as bad as San Francisco or LA. But it is a big city. And that's about it. Yeah, 6 months. In other news, I've changed over. Once again, I'm kind of getting rid of all my junk food. I realize I just can't have it around. They had a sale at the local store the other day, or a few weeks ago, and I just bought all this stuff just thinking I have self-control, I'll control it. I'll just have it once in a while and snack on it. And I realized this is really bad for my health. It's interfering with my goals, so it's all going away. All the bad food's going away. I'm just going to stick with having healthy food. And I like healthy food, but sometimes when you have the choice, it's like, I'll have the bad food first. So kind of a bit of a house cleaning and clearing that stuff out, and that'll change. So predictions, yes. How long will I live for? Wish I knew. How long will I live here for? I don't know. It's just weird how fast 7 months has gone by. So that's kind of crazy. Will I make it a year? I'd say it's about 50-50 chance, but if I don't want to stay a year, I do have to find another place to buy. I don't know. I mean, it is nice not having to worry about renters and people moving in, people moving out, and all that other stuff. I really couldn't here anyway, but if I did go back to another 3-bedroom home or 4-bedroom home, yeah, then it would be kind of an interesting situation. For now, this works. I like it. I don't love it, but as I said before, where I lived before didn't really exist. The situation didn't really exist anymore. So I don't regret leaving because the stuff I liked just was no longer around. A lot of people had moved out, neighbors had moved out, friends and family moved out, stuff had closed down that I used to enjoy, some of the hobbies. So yeah, that didn't exist anymore. So it wasn't a matter of I don't regret leaving anything behind because it was already gone. If that helps. But I'd also think if I left here too early, I would miss some stuff about here. I would just think, what did I do? I gave up something pretty cool. So this is pretty cool. Even if I don't love it, I do like it. So there's that. 6 months, we'll do another one maybe at, I guess 9 months probably. That's the prediction. Could change.